Hi everyone, welcome to Seeds of Awareness. My name is Koke Saavedra. I'm the Clinical Director and Counseling Director of Seeds. I am very happy you chose to work with us this year, and we are really proud to have been that you chose Seeds. We really want you here, and we hope to be very supportive to you during this year of learning and developing as a helping professional. I want to talk today about supervision just for a few minutes. We'll talk a lot more about that in much more detail in the near future. So you will be working, among other things, you will be doing clinical work for SEEDS. You will be offering clinical services, counseling services to children and youth within the school you work in. In this work you will be supported and you will be working under the supervision of a licensed professional who has a lot of experience in the field, has a lot of experience working with children and youth, and have a lot of experience working in very complex environments like schools, districts, hospitals. So it's important we want you to know that these professionals are the ones that make your work and your training possible. Legally, professionally, ethically, when you offer therapy services, you can only do that because they are supervising you. So you are offering services under their license, which means that the children and youth that you work with are really their clients, and they are putting them under your care. So I want to emphasize this because it's for the well-being of our organization and for the success of your training year. It's really important that you take your primary supervisor very seriously, and every supervisor, of course, as they will take you, and that you actually respect the supervision frame. In particular, I want to emphasize a few things. We'll talk again more in the future. I want to underline the fact that you will be having two supervisors, an individual supervisor who is your primary supervisor and under which license you are working, and a secondary supervisor which will be offering supervision in a group context. Your primary supervisor is your primary contact and is the person with whom you need and you must talk about clinical matters and your clinical cases. In case of a crisis, he or she, your primary supervisor, your individual supervisor, is the person you need to contact. I will only be a backup in case that there is a situation in which you cannot contact your primary supervisor. Perhaps your primary supervisor is not available for some reason that week. I will be backing that up, but only if your supervisor is not available. Also, if you have any concerns about clinical matters and your therapy work or the school issues related to your work there, the person to talk to is the primary supervisor. It's not Servang, who is there in the room with you, but it's the primary supervisor with whom you must talk about all clinical matters. Developing a good relation with your primary supervisor is a responsibility of both of you. Obviously, there's a tendency, there's a tension between the fact that they want to be really supportive and we choose them because they are supportive people who share our and your values. At the same time, they have a role in which they are supervising you. So if you could be humble and open-hearted, and as your supervisors will be, then you should be able to figure it out. If you have a problem with your supervisor and you would like to work with a different one, please know that we will actually encourage you to work out the relationship with them. It is very, very rare that we have ever allowed such a shift, because we believe that a central part of your clinical training is to develop the ability to work through relationships even when they're challenging. that's obvious, and so they will have an opportunity. But I can almost guarantee that your relation with your supervisor will be good. Okay, there's a lot of paperwork to do, and you have to do it, and it's responsibility of your supervisor to make sure that you do it in a timely manner. You have to show up weekly with your supervisor at whatever place they are located. That's your responsibility, and if you don't show up weekly, we're really going to have a problem. So please do so. Not showing up technically makes the hours that you work that week not valid for your training, or licensure. So it's a very, very, very serious matter, and there's a legal context around it, an ethical context, and a professional context that we as SEEDs are really trying to obviously uphold, and we respect. We would also encourage you to avoid, what's called triangulation. Like if you have a problem with your supervisor, you start talking to someone else in the organization. That really undermines the quality of the relationships within the organization. Is a really poor practice, and doesn't really solve your problems, because we do support our supervisors. We know them, we trust them, we have long-term relationships with them, and so the best way to proceed is to actually talk to them. If you feel there's an impasse in which you cannot solve a matter, then I would be involved, and we can talk, the three of us, and I will certainly support you. We want to support you, and we want you to have a wonderful, wonderful year here with us at SEEDs. There's a lot of details that at the beginning you will not know, and there will be a lot of situations in which you're going to need the support of your supervisor. So again, being confused and not knowing is normal. What we want to encourage you to do is to actually use the support of your supervisor to solve those matters and respond to them appropriately. In particular, matters of the confidentiality of your client's information is something that you need to discuss with your supervisor, hopefully frequently. Includes writing notes, and includes who to talk to and when. So before you take action and talk to people, perhaps within the school, and with other people in the organization, or maybe with a colleague, consult with the supervisor to see if that is appropriate. The information that our clients share with us is private and is sacred, and we also legally and ethically we need to honor that privacy. It is not for us to choose who we share the information with, so consult with the supervisor. Another area that is very, very critical and can raise a lot of anxiety when we're starting our practice is areas of crisis. For example, if a client talks about having suicidal thoughts or feeling suicidal, we will have a plan with the school, so there will be a contact person there that will help you deal with that. But your first and primary contact person is your supervisor, who is available to you legally 24 hours a day. So it's really important that you have a plan from the onset with your supervisor. So please bring up the matter if they don't bring it up from the onset, okay? And we will support you. We'll also be sending out some guidelines in those matters. We're going to do a training before you start your clinical year in terms of crisis and confidentiality. So that will put you in a better standing if you're not familiar with these matters, which are really, really important. Again, talking and having close relationship and conversation with your supervisor is the way to ensure your client's safety and that you have an enjoyable training year. It can be really hard to become a therapist, but it's also precious, and so we want to encourage you not to be discouraged. And if there are difficult emotions, if there's anxiety, if there's fear, if there's anger, that's a normal part of the process, and we're here to support you. You can express your feelings openly, and we will always allow everybody to do so. So we really have your back. Okay, that's all for now. Hope that was helpful. I wish we can have a further conversation with Diana and Servang, and I think that they are in the room with you right now. Perhaps if there's someone else, my apologies. And hope you have a wonderful, wonderful year at SEEDs. We're very happy you're here with us. Take good care. Bye-bye.